So I'm starting out with a little primer today. We're going to jump right in. I'm just going to do a quick everyday look. I'm priming with my e.l.f. Power, what does it say? Power Grip Primer. All right, now y'all know if you've been with me for any amount of time, I can't see without my glasses. So I've got my magnifying mirror over here to the side, and I'm just going to go for it the way I would normally do it when no one was watching. So this Power Grip Primer is really, really thick. It kind of feels like you're spreading Elmer's glue on your face. But after it's on, it's actually pretty nice, and you don't feel it after a minute. So I'm not sure what that's about. And I'm actually going to use this to prime my eyes as well. Now, most of the time I would say definitely don't use your face primer, for your eyes. But really, this one seems to be a little bit different. Maybe it's because it's called Power Grip Primer. So I'm hitting basically anywhere I can see fine lines, which is pretty much everywhere, and anywhere where there are larger pores, which is generally going to be in the middle of the face. So hi, wherever you're joining from, say hi and tell me where you're joining from. I'm actually in North Alabama in the United States, and it is a beautiful fall day here. Beautiful. So say hi, let me know where you're watching from. If you have a question, pop it in, and eventually I'll put my glasses on and see it. I always answer questions. So even if you leave a question or a comment on one of my videos, I always answer. I have a 48-hour policy that I try to adhere to because I can't stand it when I leave a message on somebody's video and they don't say anything back. And sometimes, it's just nice to be acknowledged, right? So I'm not claiming to be Mrs. Perfect or anything. Peru, Indiana, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Saginaw, Michigan. Hi, Deborah. So thanks for joining. That's awesome. So I imagine in Pennsylvania, it's probably getting kind of cool at this point compared to where I live. So, and Leesburg, Florida. Oh man, I hope you're not near any of the tragedy that's going on there. So I hope you are marked safe, because wow, that's a mess. That's a mess that I'm glad I'm not in the middle of, and I'm, everybody's kind of praying for people that are in that, and then praying it doesn't head for us as well. So Central New York, hello. Hello. Central, okay. I'm like, is that New York or Kentucky? Glasses. So I'm actually gonna use my cream makeup today just to go really, really fast. And because like I said, this will be like an everyday, just an everyday. Little bit of glam. Little bit of glam, and this is the boring part, so I like to get through this quickly. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm just using my palette here. So just my palette that I've used before. I go ahead and add colors. Now I don't sell Seint makeup, but there is a link on my videos for it because I do love it. It's not perfect for everyone every time, but I'm really enjoying it. The thing is with this makeup, if you're interested in it at all, or you've seen it before and you're curious about it, the thing is less is more. I said after I put that all over my face, right? Less is more. Oh, okay. Now I got this one in my Ipsy kit that came this month. So I thought it was really cool. This one is kind of a little bit of a sparkly, and then like a blush and a contour. So it's called Sunkissed, and it's by, I want to say Alleyoop, but it's Alleyoop. So let's see what we said here. So Sarah watching from UK, hi. Okay, Gail says, I'm just fine, got lucky, went a little south and east, yeah, missed you completely, good. And Nicole says, I'm currently on oxygen. I just got out of the hospital from having bacterial pneumonia for the second time. I'm so sorry. I'm glad you're going home or that you're home. Light and Fluffy, hi. Diane from Ontario, hi. All right. So I'm just going to use that contour from that. I'm just going to put it on. Now I'm a super slop when it comes to makeup. If you've seen any of my videos before, you know this about me. You know that it starts out all kind of like this. And then normally it will turn out really good in the end. So if you don't have a chance to stick with me, I'm just going to go ahead and cover my whole nose. I don't know why I just didn't do it that way to begin with. If you can't stick with me, then check back later and see how this look ends up. Now I'm really pale, so I have to add color to just warm my face up and make it look like I am amongst the land of the living. I'm just going to do a little bit of quickie contour. I'm back on my diet. My double chin is disappearing, but it's still there. So if you've got a double chin, give me a thumbs up. Oh, goodness. So silly. It is gorgeous, gorgeous outside today. I know that some people are actually turning on their heat here in North Alabama. I'm going to put a little bit more right there. Okay. So now that I'm all hookered up, I'm going to blend. You just have to forgive my silly mood. All right. What am I going to blend with? Actually, I'm going to just grab this. This is actually an El Cheapo brush. It's a contour brush, but I'm going to use it anyway. So it's kind of a dense brush. It's a cheaper set. And I'm just going to start with kind of where the lighter parts are, since I'm going to use the same brush for the whole thing. Now, notice I didn't really do anything under my eyes. I always kind of save my eyes for under my eyes for last, and that way if I have to clean up, I'm not wasting a bunch of makeup. Okay. Michelle says, did you always like makeup since your teen years? Yes. In fact, I used to get in trouble when I was 15. I wasn't allowed to wear makeup, and I wanted to wear it so badly. And finally, you know, my mom was like, you can wear makeup when you're 16. So when I finally started to wear it, I just went crazy with it. But yes, I've always loved makeup. When I realized I was a girl, somewhere around 14, I decided I wanted to wear makeup. And I say that because I was a tomboy, you know, growing up. Hi, lovely Amanda. Gail says she's got a triple. Okay. Okay. So, yep. Always loved makeup. And some of my most fond memories are putting on makeup with my girlfriends and, you know, walking in and seeing my mom put on her makeup. My mom didn't wear makeup until she was probably in her 30s or close to it. And so, now I got this new band for wearing wigs. And one of the things that's nice about it is that it doesn't slip, but you also can't slip it back easily to blend. Yeah, I just ordered these on Amazon to give them a try because the ones that I use are really, oh, can you relate? Anyway, they just slip and come off, and I definitely don't want my wig to come off if I'm wearing it. I went out to check the mail yesterday and I had this eyeliner on that went all the way out to here, and I had a wig on, and this poor little boy gave me the mail, and he probably thought, whew, I don't know what that lady's into, but all right, so I'm looking pretty blended on my end. I have to flip it over and use my 10x mirror to just kind of check it out. Is anybody blind like me? Semi-blind where you have to use a 10x or 20x mirror just to see what you're doing? Because I certainly do understand. And there's that little black fleck. I don't know how little things can get stuck to your face. All right, so that's looking pretty good. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use a finishing powder, and that's gonna go over it because I'm a little bit shiny, and I don't mind being a little dewy looking, but sometimes it picks up things on camera that you would never normally see with your naked eye. So I don't want to watch this later and go, oh, wow, I can't believe I did that live and people saw it. So I'm just putting a little bit, actually a lot, and I'm going to work it all through the brush till there's hardly any there. And then I'm just going to sweep it just that tiny bit all over. And that gives you a little bit of an airbrushed look. So little tiny bit. Nothing wrong with being a little airbrushed. And it's, as long as I don't come up near my eyes, it's gonna be fine. It's not gonna dry me out. It's not like a regular face powder, right? It's got a little blurring. I don't mind looking my age. I just don't want to look, you know, past my age. Okay, so there we go. We got that going on. And I'm going to use these cream shadows that I found. Actually, I did not find them. My mom gave them to me because she likes them. These are by Ardmore, and they're a little tube. And I'm just gonna put a little bit on the back of my hand of the one color, which is Astro Girl. And then I'm going to use Paradise Found. Paradise Found and Astro Girl. Oh. So Paradise Girl is kind of like a green, kind of like a olive type green. And then I'm just going to find a brush so that I'm ready for blending. Brushes, this one will do. I've got brushes here that Motted sent me, or MOTD, Makeup of the Day is what that stands for, if you didn't know. MOTD, Makeup of the Day, but I call them Motted, or Modded. Modded is what I call them. Okay, so I'm going to start with that pearly looking one. Remember, I've already primed my eyes. I'm just going to kind of work it on there. And I like to pat it out here just a little bit and in an upward direction. Now, I've had people give me a bunch of grief about using the wrong finger to pat my face with. And let me tell you, yes, this is the least strong finger on your face, but you can still beat the hell out of yourself with it, okay? So don't come at me for using the wrong finger. I will use the finger I want to use. And it's kind of pretty. Kind of pretty. So I just put it all over, all the way up. I guess I'll do eyebrows last. And I have a pretty wig I'm going to put on the end. And I'm just making sure that that looks normal on my end. Yeah, it's actually a little dewy, a little sparkly. Just a little bit of sparkle to it. Just a little shimmer. Not sparkle. Shimmer is what I mean. I keep getting things stuck to my face. Okay, a little bit of shimmer, and then I'm going to use that green. And I'm going to kind of tap it into where a normal person's crease would be. I have hooded eyes, so I don't really have a crease per se. And then as soon as I get it sort of where I want, I'm just going to tap it around. Just a tapping motion to blend it. Now you can do windshield wiper strokes if you want. I'm going to blend it down and basically in this corner of my eye. And then up. It doesn't dry too quickly, so you have some time to mess with it. And I wore these the other day, and they actually, with a nice eye primer, I think I just used the one by Revlon. It's only like $4, and it stayed on all day, no creasing. So I haven't tried it with the primer that I used today, so it's kind of an experiment for me. Okay, Now it's starting to dry and get tacky. And that's pretty much how it's going to look. So it's not a perfect look, it's an everyday look. All right, and then same thing here. Or try to do the same thing here. I find it very hard to do one side of my face exactly the same as the other without looking at it from 40 different angles. Now, I don't do a bunch of stuff on my movable lid because nobody's going to see it anyway. So this is what I'm going to look like when I relax my face. You see how I've done it? I want that color to show up there. But the rest of it on here, that doesn't really matter. Nobody's going to see it. There's no sense in being artsy-fartsy there. Take this from a distance, and I got a little bit more on this side than I do on the other. So I'm going to go in with that lighter color and just mix a little bit over. Just put it right on my brush. My lighting is a little bit crooked for the one side of my face, so if I end up with something different over here, I'm gonna have to fix it. Normally I would fix this off camera, but since we're here together, this is better. This is better. Okay, and I'm just not gonna worry about it too much. So brows are gonna fix anything. I'm gonna just even things up here. Tap a little color in this little area here. I have kind of a puffy area here. It's just a little bit of fat and a little bit of puff. And I like to put a little bit on that, and it kind of makes it look like it recedes. So. So get it close. And then I'm not too worried about this over here where it's a little bit darker, because when I go in to clean this up with concealer, everything will be fixed. Everything will be fixed, so we don't worry. All right, that's done. Get a Kleenex here. We're gonna do some quick lips. I'm gonna do a nude lip, so I'm gonna use kind of a brownish color lip liner. And I'm going to overline just a little bit. Oh, that was loud. Oh, and I feel like I have hair on my face again. My lip is peeling too. I don't know why my lip is peeling. But it's peeling. So. What is the time for issues today? Oh my goodness. So I'm just gonna line like my normal lips and then overline after. I like to cut it in slightly on the inside of my lip, and that way when I rest my mouth, I don't get that downward turned scowl. This is what I look like when I'm normally looking at everybody. Everybody thinks I'm mad. I'm not really mad. I just look mad. I just look angry. I just use the side to sort of color it in because I want it to last a little while. I don't want it to wear off. And I'm going to use a liquid lip liner. I mean, a liquid lippy, and it's matte. It'll stay on for a long, long time. I have a bunch of videos to make today, so I'm like, these lips need to go on and stay on. All right, now here's what I like to do. My lips pretty thin, right? Especially my top lip. So on my bottom lip, I'm going to actually increase the volume right in this area. Okay? And I'm just going to blend that into the sides. And that way I'm not overlining my entire lip. Okay. All right, so now that I've overlined that, it looks like I have a little bit more volume there. And up here, I've got a pretty well-defined Cupid's bow, right? It goes inward, shaped like a heart. Where I really want to have more volume is right in this area here. Right there. And right there. Like, that's just my thing. I feel like if you need to overline just a little bit in some areas, go right ahead. But you don't have to do the whole lip, right? So that's what I'm going to do. I went way out there. It's actually quite a bit more accentuated than I would normally do it. But that's okay. I'm just going to take a quick look and see if this is starting to look the same, which it's not. It's looking crooked. I always have to look at myself up close and then farther away to see how things are shaping up. It's still way too pointy here. All right, I'm going to have to put the lipstick on to see if this is going to look right. And this is a lighter color. It's looking hideous so far. Don't worry. All right, so that's the basic. That's the basic deal. Then I'm just going to take a little bit of lip gloss and go over. I'm going to keep it in the center of my lips. Keep it in the center of my lips because that is where I want to focus the shine, and also it's going to work its way out to the edges. So now, if I get too thick, if I get too thick up here, I'll just take a clean Q-tip and just roll it from the clean part of my face to the thick part. Just give it a roll, and that way if you end up with that sort of extra line there where it builds up. All right, I'm going to let that sit there for a minute and see if I like it. I need a little bit of something on there. All right, now this is one of my favorite things to do, is to just take a little bit, you know how we always have those shimmery parts of our eyeshadow? Just take a little bit of that and then pop it right there. Okay, just pop it right there for a little bit of extra luscious lip moments. Luscious lip moments. I always let my makeup sit for a couple minutes before I go outside and just see if everything looks, you know, copacetic. It's different when I'm on camera because everything's not, you know, perfectly centered and I haven't had a chance to look at it. And sometimes I'll even take a selfie just to see if things are straight, because it's really easy to have cockeyed makeup. All right, so let's go on. I'm going to do some quick brows. iMethod Beauty sent me a brand new kit. They actually sent me a couple of these, but I'm going to show you this one here. Well, maybe not, maybe the other one. They sent me like 4 of them because they wanted you to know about their products. So I thought that was cool. They literally like sent me a whole bunch of these with different colors. So I'm going to see if I can find one in a color that is a little bit lighter since I'm going to be a blonde today. And I'll show you the different ones. Now this one here is quite light, and I'm just going to try it on the back of my hand. So that one would actually go nicely with my wig. This is actually the powder type, and these are also smudge proof and waterproof. So that doesn't mean that if you drag your hands all over your face all day that it's going to stay completely, you know, put. If you are gonna go to the gym and things like that, these work well, but if you like to, you know, put your hands all over your face all the time, you need the pomade type. The pomades are nice, they're waterproof, but they're definitely sponge proof. They're SpongeBob proof. They're smudge proof. So these have got all kinds of these stencils in here, and I'm going to go ahead and try and find one that I like and show you how I put this on. I think that color will work fine. Since I'm all blondie and yellowy today, I'm going to be blondie and yellowy. Ooh, brand new stencils. I just got to find one I like. No, nope, not that one. I like the stencils because they give you the perfect shape for both. That doesn't mean they're going to be perfect every time. Oh, that's kind of nice. Kind of a nice... Hold on to that one for a minute. Let's see what we got here. All these choices. Okay, I think I'm just going to go with this one. I'm going to go with this one. It's nice and bendy. You know, the original ones that companies came out with were a little bit more rigid, so these are nice and bendy. I think this is going to be great. And it even has little, you know, marks on here that show you where your brow is supposed to start, like you're supposed to line it up with that line. They tell you all this stuff in the instructions, but these kits have really come a long ways. All right, so what I learned to do with the powder type is always, see, when you press it in there, there's the powder in there. When you press it in every time, it gets more on there, obviously. So you want to make sure that you start out with the same amount for each brow. So I always stick it in there and then I push it on my hand until it's close to the lightness I'm going to want. Because if I put it on there too heavy, it's going to look ridiculous. Now I'm going to see if I can line it up. And this line here, I don't know if you can see that line. This line here should line up with, you know, come right down the center, the side of your nose. Now, I've got videos on that, so if that's something you need to know more about. And then you just stick it on there, and I like to start right there and then work it out to the tail. It does say start at the tail, but I like to do what I like to do. And then you just kind of work it into the center. And I feel like I have it all on there. It's a little bit of a stretch with the fingers, so I have definitely used these with tape before. So, and then when it comes off, there's my very dramatic eyebrow. So clearly, when I'm doing this for an everyday look at home, I'm going to press 3 times on the back of my hand before I go to my face. And that's how you control those powder types. But that's pretty. That's pretty for what I'm doing for today, so I'm happy with that. Now, they probably have one for each side of my face, but I'm just going to wipe this one off and then flip it over and use it on the other side. So, now this is the tricky part. Getting one on is easy. Getting the other one on can sometimes be difficult, but that's okay. We can handle it. So now I have dipped back in. I'm going to do it once and twice, just like I did on the other side. But I have a mental note that I want to do this 3 times any other time. All right, and then I'm going to line it up where it's supposed to be on the side of my nose. And here's why it's so confusing, I think, to some people, including myself, is that I don't have any eyebrow right there. Like none. Zippo, I guess when I was plucking, I just plucked that to death, and so there's nothing there now. So when I'm doing it, I have eyebrow that comes all the way to here on this side. And to make things even worse, my eyebrows are different. So they're just naturally shaped differently. No matter what I do, I can shave them. I can do all kinds of crazy things. They're just doing their own thing. So these little marks do actually help. And if I get it wrong, I'll just fix it, but stretch it out here, doing the limbo. Trying to see how I have it on my other one. So once I get it on there again, I usually start right there, work it out to the tail, and then work it inward. And when you're not used to having any brows, it feels really weird when you suddenly do have them. So it takes a little while to get your head adjusted to seeing yourself with brows. So those actually went on quite well, and they look just fine to me. Do they look crooked to anybody? Just let me know if they look crooked to you, and I'll show you. Actually, I'm going to show you how I do it anyway. I'm going to show you how you can check. Here's how you can check whether you use one of these stamp kits or not. If you want to make sure your brows are even, it's very, very simple. Go get that dental floss that they send you home with when you get your teeth cleaned, right? And then you can just line it up straight on your forehead. And you can see if your points or your arches are the same height. You can actually tell if things are the same height in the middle. And you can also stretch it across there and see if your tails are the same height. You can check and see if they've come in close enough. And if you've gotten the arch in the right spot and the tail in the right spot. Now the tail for me, I actually like to have it a little bit higher because I feel like when it comes down, it closes off my eye, and I want everything, instead of to go down, I'm still wanting everything to go up. So I will kind of swoop it out there sometimes. Do you do that? Do you swoop your eyebrows out? Or do you have gorgeous eyebrows? If you do, I'm really envious. So that is the main stuff right there. Now, I had a lady ask me how to do eyeliner for hooded eyes. And so here's how I do it. I don't usually use pencil eyeliner. And I've gotten away from this because it can be a mess. It's so wide unless you get one of those, unless you get one of these pens, you know, that's too wide. Like that, I don't have that much of a lid that's visible. So if I go in with that, it's gonna completely disappear. So I will show you how I do it two ways. Two ways to do eyeliner for hooded eyes. The first way, you're gonna need a flat brush. I'll show you what I mean. Flat eyeliner brush. That's what I mean right there. Okay, flat eyeliner brush. And I'm going to use this little palette here, and I'm just gonna grab a little bit. And then what I do is I extend my eye, and then I'm just going to pat that in. I'm gonna pat it in at an angle that would go straight across from the middle of my eye straight outward. And the reason that I do it that way is it gives it a little bit of a lifted look on the edge. So I just pat it in, and then I fill in this area here. So it kind of looks like a little slice of, like a little slice of pie there. Little slice of pie, a little slice of pizza. Right there. Not going to be quite high enough. That's it. Can you see that? So then when I relax, it gives it a slightly lifted look on that side, and it doesn't come in all the way. Slightly lifted. So that's one way. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. Well, there's actually more than that, but those are the ways we're going to stick with today. So this eye, kind of go straight, and hopefully I got that straight. So a little bit different, fix it up. So you must try this, whether you have hooded eyes or not. You must try this. Semi-similar. Gotta lay myself back. Yeah, semi-similar. All right, that's what I'm going for today. Semi-similar. All right. And then the other thing I'll do, of course, I'll use this under. And you would think, because it's a powder, I'm just going to use just whatever was left on there is what I'm using. You would think that because it's a powder, it would work its way all under your eyes and make a mess, but it doesn't. I always thought it would. And of course, I'm using a really dark color. You can use a really light color and then just give it a little smudge it out, and it'll be gorgeous. I'm using a dark, harsh color, but you don't have to do that, obviously. So, smoke it out, smudge it out. That is what I do for the one way. And all right, now I don't pull this out this way because it'll just look a mess. And when I finish and clean up my eyes, it's going to look better anyway. All right, the second way, actually I'm going to introduce the third way. That big fat crayon that I said was too big. One thing you can do, since we have, if you have that real, minimal movable eyelid, you can actually go right up under, as long as it doesn't drive you crazy, you can actually go right up under your lash line up here. Try not to stick it in your eye, obviously. You can work it through your lashes, and I'll show you how this looks. So I'm just trying to really work it through my lash line. So if you want to wear eyeliner, but you don't want it to be like really fat, really work it through those lashes. You can kind of blink it through. And then you can tell that I've lined it a little bit, even though it's just a little bit. Do the same on the other side. I fear that on this side, the one that I can't see, I'm going to get off my live and I'm going to be like, whoa, that's all crooked on that side. But that's all right. We'll just focus on this side, okay? So just kind of blink it through to get it through that lash. It's kind of like a lash. It's kind of like several layers of lashes. If you look at your lashes really closely, it's not one layer of them. It's like 3 layers in some places and maybe 2 in others. Maybe you have more than I do. I don't know. So just kind of get it, work through there. Get it even. The only problem with this is it will get on your lower lash line a little bit too. So if that bothers you, I would skip that. But if it doesn't, it looks really pretty because it's just a little bit, and then you don't have to worry about your eyeliner ending up all over your face that way. All right, and then the third way that I like to do it is with one of these. It's just a real fine point pen. It's like an ink pen, right? It's actually not an ink pen, a felt tip pen. So on this one, I just rest it on my lashes, and I'm going to do little stamping motions. I rest it on my lashes, and I go toward my lid, and I just do little stamping motions so that I get the tiniest little line. Because like I said, I don't have much there. Of course, you can use the tip. But I like the stamping motions because I've got that, I don't know, it's textured eyelids. I've got textured eyelids, right? A lot of texture there. But I just kind of use my lashes as a guide and then just barely stamp. And you want a waterproof and a smudge proof pen, and that way it's not going to go anywhere when you relax your eyes. But it, it's just a little bit of eyeliner. And of course, when you're not talking and doing all the things I'm doing, you can go a lot faster. So those are my 3 ideas. My 3 ideas for eyeliner. And there's no reason why you can't combine them. They look nice together. Distance. Okay, that's looking just fine. All right, I'm going to clean up under my eyes, get a little mascara, and finish up with either some concealer or some color corrector. Oh, and this is looking bad. I'm not liking this at all. I'm going to blend that out. I just had the wrong color there. You ever do that? You should get the whole wrong color. That's just wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. So the beauty of makeup is when you screw it up, you just take it off. Well, there it goes. That was bad. That's why I like to let my makeup sit on my face for a couple of 10-15 minutes before I leave the house, because if it's going to look bad, I want to know when I'm at home. No big deal. I wish it was so easy to handle other problems like that. Just mess it up, wash it off. No big deal. And that's the kind of stuff you don't get to see unless it's live. And I screw up all the time. So if you mess up, don't worry. Don't worry. You gotta play in the makeup. You gotta play in the makeup to make it happen. To make it good. So I don't know if I'll keep this on or not. But that's the kind of stuff. Like I said, you know, we edit out when we do short videos or long videos. We edit it out because we're like, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see me mess up. But really, I think sometimes it's more fun. It's like, whoa. How does someone else handle that, you know? And I'm still not real happy with these lines, but I'm going to ignore that for now. It's better for the moment. Now, I'm going to do some quickie lashes. Actually, I bought this Cabaret. I don't know, it's probably been 2 months ago. This Cabaret, right? It was really highly recommended on Amazon. And I love this little tiny brush. Look at that. Now, I don't like it really for my top lashes, but for my bottom lashes, it's awesome. Because it just gets right in there and it gets everything just right. Yeah, you definitely don't get, if you see anybody that's good with makeup, that's a person who's screwed up a lot. Because you have to. You have to screw up to learn how to fix things. Let alone poor makeup artists. You know, they're got to screw up on other people. That'd really be bad, right? Bad enough to screw up on yourself, but mess up other people too. You know, I love this little... I shouldn't say screw up. My granddaughter's going to watch this one day. She's going to be like, oh my gosh, my Oma said screwed up. Yeah, I like that. Super black. I might do my top ones. Well, last time I did it with this, I didn't like it. We'll try it anyway. It's very, very black. I like that. No, not my favorite. Not my favorite. I'm used to my volumizing one. I like my volumizing one. This one just kind of does all kinds of crazy. That's right there. Oh, giant Tammy Faye. Tammy Faye moment right here. Yeah, I like the sun a lot better. Much, much better. Still super black, but more volume, more length. I do like that Cabaret for under. Nice stuff. I'm just going to do a super quick cleanup with some micellar water. Get anything that's fallen below. Get any sparklies. I didn't do too bad under. Just get that. Didn't do badly. Get a little extra. There. Okay. I'm going to clean up. I think I'm just going to use my color corrector. It is, it's quickly becoming like something that I just do instead of concealer. It's just easier. Easier and it looks good. See the dark? circles under my eyes. They're not terrible dark, but I'm just using a little bit of color corrector. And less with this is definitely more. Pat it in to where I want. Actually, I'm gonna come down just a little bit here. Take it here. Just blend those two together. It does not act like concealer either. It's really, really thick. So there's one. One done. Okay, let's try the wig. This is actually a longer wig. Just gonna give it a quick brush. I love these layered wigs because they're just so easy. Just put it on and it looks pretty awesome. This is a little long for me. I like the shorter ones, but something different, something different. So give it a shake. Give it a little shake. And then down we go. Make any adjustments. Of course, my earrings have disappeared now. I don't know. I was kind of missing my blonde highlights, and that's why I thought I would do a blonde wig today. This is very blonde. Very old-fashioned look. Love it. I don't care if it's old-fashioned or not. I'm old-fashioned. Anyway, that's the look for the day. I hope you enjoyed this. It was fun hanging out, and I'm glad you said hi. And if you're watching this on the replay, make sure to tell me where you're from, and make sure to say hi. Thanks today. I appreciate you. Take care.